Hello and welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show. I am so glad that you guys are here with me today. Ah, man, what a great Monday. Beautiful day. We're photographers. You guys are lens legends. Hello, lens legends, and welcome to the Portrait Profit Show, where we expand our knowledge on the business side of photography so that what we're trying to do here is make you confident that you're on the path that leads you to whatever you've defined as success. I'm your host, Jim Landers, your trusted guide on the business side. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. For Digital Pro Lab, the folks over at Digital Pro Lab are wonderful. They're fantastic. They are doing everything to make you look like a hero because they love this stuff themselves. Amanda and her team are impressive, and they make us look really good. Go to digitalprolab.com if you're not already working with them. I'll mention them again here in just a little while during today's show. And of course, for Landers Photography School, that's me. The way that I help out the community is, and to make a living, is help out photographers. I help photographers make an incredible income doing what they love, to stop the struggle. If you're struggling right now, it's time to reach out to me because I stop that. It ends when you start working with me. Most photographers are struggling. They aren't bringing in enough to cover their costs. They're not bringing in enough to make their dreams happen. Well, it can happen. You just have to reach out to me. And it's real easy. I mean, you got me here on the show right now. Add a comment. In fact, for all of you, I want you to take a moment right now and share this show. Now, if you haven't already hit I want you to go to the comments section and enter in hashtag live, letting me know that you're here. But I want you to take a moment, share this show, let other people know about it. Don't keep this to yourself. When we uplift other photographers, we're uplifting the entire photography community. I encourage you to make comments and ask questions throughout the show. Just go to the comments sections and throw share what it is that you know. Like I mentioned a moment ago, I want you to enter hashtag live right now. Let me know you're here. If you're watching the replay, then enter in hashtag replay. I also encourage you to hit that like and love button each time you hear something that you appreciate or resonate with. Today, we're going to be covering a lot of ground because there are a lot of variables that make up the reason why photographers are able to make their businesses work for them. The goal is not to cover every single possible variable, but we're going to be covering 18 steps that I think are pretty darn important to a to make a profitable low volume portrait photography business, which is what I do and what I love. You guys, you have a passion for photography, but do you have a profitable, thriving business? Do you even know what that means? Do you even think it's possible? It is. It is. Yes, in this environment. Yes, in this economy. Yes, with these clients. Yes, in the town or city or area that you live in. Yes, it is. And if you're not, it's because there's something you can do better and you know it. So share the show. Let other people know because when you uplift others, you're uplifting yourself as well. And I'm about to unveil my 18 essential steps. Now, not all of these are going to apply to you. It is made for a low volume portrait photography business. And I know there are people who aren't in that exact category, but the majority of it still applies. Today, you're going to gain tips to boost your profits, steps to take control of your time, and a lot of tools to build the business that you love. You know, Just like, yeah, just like you, I have heard all kinds of tips, advice, criticisms, suggestions, and recommendations on what it takes to be successful. Most of them ultimately have been unhelpful, if not completely wrong. I bet you could say the same thing. I started off loving photography, but if I was honest with myself, I was intimidated by much of the business side. And even though that was true, somehow I also felt like I basically understood the business side. You know what? In hindsight, I was wrong. I didn't know it at the time. I'm not sure if I would have believed it or not. Maybe, I don't know, but certainly didn't do much about it. Not at first. I was wrong, just like many of the photographers out there are. Maybe including yourself. Maybe not. But the bottom line is now I love the business side of photography. It has been, and I assume always will be, my nature to share what I love and appreciate with others. I'm here to share what I have learned in my many years as a professional, and I want you to be successful in your photography business. That is what I am passionate about. These following 18 steps. These are what this one photographer believes are the key ingredients to making a sustainable profit in the portrait photography industry. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I believe that if you follow and tweak the following steps to your preferences, that you are going to be a successful photography business owner. These steps are the framework of your portrait photography business. No doubt the business side is a lot of work. There are so many variables to complete, to do in order to make everything work. Let me give you a quick analogy. This lesson today, I said, is the framework. But let's talk about building a home. And it's this lesson today represents the framework of your house. It's going to be up to you, though, to put up the sheetrock, the paint, and everything else that makes it pretty. Of course, if you want to make it even more complete and easier, I can help with that. All right, let's talk about the 18 essential steps to a profitable low volume portrait photography business. And it starts off with preparation. Let me put that up on the screen real quick. Let's see. Where is it? There we go. I want you to envision your ideal life. I want you to start with some practical steps to build your portrait photography business. Because you have to begin with a clear vision of your ideal life. You've got to know where it is that you're going. Otherwise, you just wander through a whole bunch of good things. It'd be like going through to a tool store, not knowing what it is that you're trying to build or fix, and just wander the aisles. You know what? Every single tool in the tool store is a good tool. Every road on the road is a good road. I mean, yeah, some of them have potholes, but they're all effectively good roads. Or let's just picture the good ones. You could spend your entire career roaming, wandering, and telling yourself you're doing good things because you are working hard and people around you see you working hard. So they think that's good. Guys, it's not. You could spend your entire career doing good things and still struggle, barely or not even making it work. It's when we define what the end result is supposed to be that we give ourselves the potential to reach success as we've defined it. I want you to imagine what your ideal life looks like when you're living how you're living, how you're spending your days, what achievements you've celebrated. Now, let's reverse engineer that into a tangible plan. Creating a timeline for your ideal life is not just about setting goals, it's about crafting a roadmap that guides your decisions and actions. By the way, would you like some help with that? Because here in luck, next week's show, It is all about providing the tools and strategies to plot your journey in a physical timeline. I'll put that up on the screen real quick, but I'll bring it up again in a little bit. Called Vision Victory, and it's using the tool of timelining to reach your goals. That's what we'll be talking about next week. Mark your calendar now to ensure you don't miss it. That's Monday, March 4th at noon that we'll be doing that. Let's move into the first step. It's called mastering your time. We're going to embrace the power of solitude. Time management isn't about creating task lists and doing those tasks. It's about priorities. And for the moment, I especially want you to prioritize yourself, not the business, not yet. I want you to begin by prioritizing you. Begin each day with a consistent period of solitude designed to set the tone for your productive day. I want you to dedicate some time each morning to solitude. 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, make this time non-negotiable and make it free from distractions like email, news, social media, which can cloud your productive mindset. So you might want to stay away from your phone, but you might want to engage in study. Invest this time for self-improvement. Pick up a book or a resource that challenges you to grow. It could even be a YouTube video. So maybe you've got your cell phone, maybe you're in front of your computer, maybe if you're sure that it won't lead to wandering through miscellaneous videos, okay, then do it. The topics to explore must be in your professional capacity as a photographer and business owner, or in personal roles, such as a parent, a partner, self improvement. The goal is to emerge a little wiser every day. You could use this time to cultivate ideas. It's just going to happen naturally. But you're using this time to nurture your creativity. So I want you to, no matter what it is that you do during this solitude time, I want you to have a notepad or journal handy to jot down any thoughts, dreams, concepts that float to the surface. I mean, they're going to. You've done this before, you know it. This practice not only sharpens your focus, but often leads to innovative products, projects, or maybe even solutions to your pressing concerns right now. Now, when you are done with this moment, this period of solitude, I want you to transition to your day with intent, not just wander into the next thing. As your solitude session concludes, pivot to your day's agenda with clarity and purpose. Review and prioritize your tasks. Now, you may do that in the morning, you may do that in the evening. Either way, what is it that needs your immediate attention? And what steps can you make today to get just a little closer to your long term vision? This disciplined start to your day is more than a routine, it's a ritual that honors your most valuable asset, your time. By controlling how you begin each day, you reclaim your power to shape your life and your business on your terms. Next thing I want you to do is organize your world. Give everything a home. Everything. You've heard the old adage, a place for everything and everything in its place. I don't know who said that or would have given credit. If you know, let me know. But this old adage, a place for everything and everything in its place, makes a lot of sense in your goal of reaching your ideal life. The organization of not only your physical space, but also your mental space. That's what's needed in operating efficiently and maintaining your clarity in your vision. So I want you to designate specific spots or zones. Start with something as simple as deciding a spot for your keys. Giving your things a home eliminates the cumulatively significant amount of time and stress that you would otherwise suffer searching for things that you should never spend your time on or weaken you with stress. Apply this principle universally across your personal and professional life. I also want you to digitize your creative process. Now, you do whatever you feels best, if it's physical or if it's digital. I'm going to be talking next week about doing a physical version, but still, using digital tools to store your plans, your thoughts, your ideas. Apps like Microsoft One, Microsoft OneNote, Trello, Notion. There's a bunch of them. They act as a digital home for your creative ideas and your strategic plans, making them accessible and organized at all times. Let me give you a couple of digital ideas to or digital tools to consider. To organize your plans, thoughts, and ideas effectively, I want you to consider one of these digital tools or one that you have already come up with or learned about or use. Each tool offers a unique feature or features to suit different needs. So whether you're brainstorming, planning, or need a structured way to capture your fleeting thoughts. So the first one I mentioned before is Microsoft OneNote, because it's good for flexible visual outlines and notes that integrate seamlessly with other Microsoft products and services. So if you're using other Microsoft products and services, this could be a good tool for you. There's also Trello. It's really popular. It's known for its card-based layout. It's really easy to see. It's really easy to use. Trello allows you to create cards for every idea and organize them into lists, into boards, and to track their progress through different stages. So it's perfect for different workflows and project management. Now, one that I came across that I've not used before is MindMeister, but it sounded interesting to me. So if you prefer a mind mapping to an outline to develop ideas, MindMeister offers intuitive web-based platform with plenty of templates and a built-in icon library. So great for brainstorming sessions and collaborating on ideas in real time. Another one that I haven't used that I found interesting is ClickUp. ClickUp. It's an all-in-one productivity tool that offers product management, collaboration, idea management features. You can manage your work using mind maps, documents, whiteboards. It again makes it easy to turn brainstorming sessions into actionable projects that you can move forward with. Now, one that I have used that I like. There's pros and cons to all of these tools. Is Notion. And it's idea for knowledge management, good for teams if you've got other people working. Notion is a versatile tool that allows you to capture and organize information easily. So, and it supports several different content types. So, notes, databases, calendars, reminders. So, a pretty comprehensive tool for personal and professional use. Each of these tools that I mentioned, these five tools, they have their strengths, and the best choice for you will depend on your specific needs and working style. So whether you need one thing or the other, you make the decision on which one is best. And if you need to go over them again, well, this replay will be in the newsfeed. So just go back afterwards and you can watch it again. I want you to embrace a systematic approach, developing a filing system for both your digital and your physical assets. For your photography business, this could mean categorizing your jobs by event, date, or client name and maintaining a consistent workflow for editing client communications. You don't want things to slip through the cracks. You probably have had that happen before. Does not feel good. I want you to reflect and refine. I want you to regularly evaluate the effectiveness of your organizational systems. I want you to ensure that they always serve your goals and your evolving needs. By taking control of your surroundings and the minutia of daily life, you free up mental space and mental energy to focus on the big picture of your business and your personal development. How's that sound? By the way, if this stuff's resonating with you, if you can feel this so far, we've only gone through two steps. We've got 15 more to go. 16 more? Yeah, 16 more to go. If this is resonating with you, if you're hearing something that you like, will you let me know? Go over to the comment section. Tell me. Hit that like button, hit that love button. I can see there's a lot of you watching today, and only a handful of you so far have hit that like or love button. Come on, show me some love. All right. In fact, maybe I should look over at the comments section. I see a lot of hashtag lives. Thank you guys for when you watch my show. I really appreciate you telling me that you're watching it by entering in the comments section hashtag live, and a lot of you have done that already. We simulcast this show to several different places, and so you won't be able to see all of them. I use a product called StreamYard to so that it brings everything together, and so I can see all the comments on most of the channels that we are working with. Not all of them, but most of them. But I can see Eric is here, and Mark and Robin. Glad you guys are here. Uh, Juan is here, and man, a lot of Facebook users today. By the way, unless you give StreamYard permission to for me to see your name, I don't see your name. It says Facebook user, but glad you guys are here. Wonderful to see you. All right, number 3, we're going to be talking about building your system. Now, this is part of your business plan. And I'm going to spend probably the most amount of time with this section more than any other section. Some of the sections are really short, others of them are longer. This is a longer one. Take notes or come back and watch it at your own speed, because when you watch the replay, you can change the speed. You can slow it down. You can speed it up, whatever works for you. But when we're talking about building your system, I'm talking about part of your business plan. Now, you guys have heard me talk about the 5 workspace statements before, right? Well, if not, let me review them. 5 workspace statements are your mission statement, your vision statement, your value statement, your target market, and your compelling self description. Those are the 5 things that I call your workspace statements. And the reason I call them workspace statements is because I want you to put them in your workspace. Print them out. Make them pretty if you want to, but I want them to constantly influence your choices. Now, if you work from a laptop and you don't have a workspace, okay, maybe you just have them up on your screen so that you can look at them every once in a while. Whatever works for you. But if you've got a physical place, a desk that you sit down at, put these in your physical space so that you are constantly influenced by them. There's some of the if we're talking about a path or a road that takes you to where you want to go, these are the road signs, the street signs, the guardrails on your path to reaching your success. By the way, most of us photographers and will have somewhere between 14 and 18 different statements that they really need to make to be able to have a complete set of signs and guardrails for your path. But that's for a different episode. All right, so mission, vision, value, target market, and compelling self-description. Now, let's briefly go over each one. What's your mission statement? It's to clarify your business's purpose. Why does your business exist? Your vision is to describe what success looks like. This is the future. Your value, you're identifying the core principles guiding every decision and action. Your target market, defining your most ideal client. Your compelling description, what makes you the one your ideal client gets excited about? Now, the second part of this, that was the 5 workspace statements. The second part of this is detailed plans for each photography type that you do. So if you're doing 2, 3, 4, 5 different photography types, I believe that you need to do these next sections for each different type that you do. It's one of the many reasons where I actually say that narrowing down your services to niche market is a benefit to you, because it's a little bit less work and a whole lot more results. And you're able to track the results better of the efforts that you're putting in. But however many you do a marketing plan for each one. Tailor your strategies for each photography service that you offer, considering the unique market dynamics and client expectations. The next one is a pricing strategy. Develop a pricing model that reflects the value of your work, your costs, your market positioning. The next is your product description. Clearly define what clients receive for each service and product, emphasizing the quality and uniqueness of your offerings for everything you do. Procedure manual. What are the steps to making that happen, to getting the work done and in your client's hands? Document workflows and standard operating procedures to ensure consistency and efficiency. Again, you're doing this for every single type of work that you choose to do. All the different niches that you have, doing this for each type is time consuming. So again, it's a good reason to have just one niche, but there are a lot of good reasons. But we're not here to debate that right now. The next thing is comprehensive manuals and analysis. I want you to have a policy manual. Outline your policies regarding cancellations. What do you do? Rescheduling. What do you do? Payments, client interactions. Do you have a deposit? Do you allow refunds? What are your rules? This is your game. What are your rules? I also want you to budget. I want you to have a budget and financial projections. These include revenue goals, cost estimates, cash flow projections. If you haven't done this before, this stuff does seem overwhelming, intimidating. I get it. I hear you. It isn't hard. However, if you haven't done it before, it sure feels that way because there is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of variables. Once you start doing it, you realize it's not a big deal, but you might need help with that. And that's one of the reasons I'm here. So the next is I want you to establish timelines for achieving milestones. Timelines. These will also have your marketing campaigns and your business development activities. Timelines. We're going to be talking about that in detail next week. Put it on your calendar. I want you to have a competitor analysis. I want you to conduct research on your competitors' strengths, weaknesses, their strategies, and do a SWOT analysis for yourself and for your top 3 competitors. What is a SWOT analysis? I know not everybody knows, so let me tell you. SWOT, SWOT. It's an acronym for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Assess your business's internal strengths and weaknesses along with external opportunities and threats, including those of 3 of your top competitors. I want to offer some operational insights. When it comes to income objectives, I want you to calculate the number of sessions needed to meet your financial goals. Break it down into how many sessions you need to do per year, per month, per week. And if you need help here, I love this subject, so feel free to reach out to me directly, and make sure to add not next week, but the week after and the week after that, Monday, March 11th and 18th, because on both of these shows, we'll be talking about pricing. On the 11th, it's a panel, and so you'll hear 3 different people's opinion on why they chose their pricing. On the 18th, it's I'll put it up on the screen, the perfect price list. That's on March 18th. So those are some of the ones that are coming in the future. Schedule management, plan downtime, and vacations to prevent burnout. One of the things that I recommend to my students is to pull out a calendar, whether that's a physical one. The one I'd like the best for this is one of those big ones that shows the entire year. And I want you to put down the dates that you're not going to be working first. When do you want to go on vacation? If that's something you want to do at all, put it on your calendar right now. Next is business rules and ethics. Clear business rules. Those make for smooth operations. Do I need to say that? Yes, because how many people don't have their own business rules and ethics written down? The majority of you. It's going to make your business run smoother. for everyone, not just you. Next, cost management. Consider strategies for minimizing expenses and maximizing profit margins. It's just what businesses do. How about debt avoidance? Bootstrapping may be the right option. I want you to do the math though, because sometimes that's not the best option. Do the math and make smart financial decisions to avoid debt. Just make a plan, make it happen. And of course, family considerations. Plan ways to balance business and family life. You have additional considerations when operating a home based business for those of you in that position. Next, personal reflection and motivation. Now, these are still in the business planning, in the business plan. I want you to consider these things. Not all of them are going to wind up there because everyone's different. Personal reflection and motivation, self evaluation. Reflect on your motivations for starting a business. Know your why. Reflect on it. Look at it regularly. I also want you to consider outsourcing. If you haven't already, outsourcing is a viable and most often preferable tool. You may think, well, I can't afford it. Once you do the math, you may realize you can. Seriously. But most photographers have simply not done the math. I've come across photographers who say they have, and then when I ask them a question like this, they're lost. They're convinced that they can't. And I look at their numbers, and sometimes they're right. But you know what? Probably about 80% of the time, they needed to outsource. It was beneficial for them to. They just hadn't done the math yet. They didn't know. All they saw was that's an expense and I don't want any more expenses. Guys, that's not the way to look at this. That's one way of looking at it, but it's not a successful way of looking at it. Once you know your numbers, you can figure this stuff out easily. Easily. So identify the tasks that can be outsourced to free up time for your core business activities. By incorporating these enhancements that I've just shared with you, my goal is to encourage you to adopt a strategic mindset so that you're building a foundation for long-term success. You've heard the cliche, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. To some extent, this is true, but it is still work. You must deal with clients, do your marketing, pricing, branding, email, social media, editing, albums, prints, frames, product research, bookkeeping, and continuing education. If you don't like some of those, outsource them. Next, number 4, target your market. Defining and understanding your target market is needed for the success of your portrait photography business. Here's a couple of ways to refine this step with a focus on detail, strategy, and budgeting. Number one, I want you to detailing your ideal client. Demographics, consider variables such as age, gender, marital status, location, income. And I'm suggesting these. I don't know what's important for you and what you're trying to accomplish. I'm just throwing out some suggestions. So that was demographics. What about psychographics? That's their interests, their hobbies, their values, their behaviors, their lifestyle. What is motivating them to seek photography? How about buying behaviors? This is how they prefer to seek out, in this instance, a photographer. But how do they seek out any type of working engagement? Online searches, social media, personal referrals, needs and preferences. What do they want from you as their photographer? Which brings us to, we need to talk about planning to reach them. You've got to have some visibility so that you can place your services where your ideal clients will find you. Put yourself in their path. How about messaging? You've got to tailor your communication so that you resonate with them. Networking, building relationships with other businesses that serve your target market. Being involved in organizations that your target market is involved in. We also need to talk about the costing of your market approach. What are these things going to cost? And I hope you know, when I say cost, I'm not talking about money alone. I'm talking about time as well. Hopefully you guys think that too. Time investment. Estimate how much time you'll need for your marketing efforts. from social media management to networking events. Time is a valuable resource. You know this. So plan how you'll balance marketing activities with other business operations. Financial budgeting. Do the math on your marketing budget, but consider the cost of advertising. Many recommend that you set aside 7% for your marketing and advertising. This includes everything as far as outreach. So that's website maintenance, professional group fees, and any promotional materials that you may need. And track your marketing efforts. You need to know which channels are most effective for reaching your ideal clients. By taking a detailed strategic approach to identifying and reaching your target market, you'll you'll be better prepared and positioned to attract the clients you value and who value the unique services that you offer. This step not only helps in aligning your marketing efforts more effectively, but also in ensuring your business's growth and sustainability. I guess I could share what Landers Photography's target market is. I specialize in emotional family portraits as home decor. My target market is women aged 25 to 26 who have a high value for photography, who are happy to do business my way, and they have enough discretionary money to afford me. And they live within a 10-mile radius because of my procedures. I make a lot of trips to them. So I have to limit the amount of drive time I have. You do business your way and you consider your own variables. Moving to number 5, pricing and merchandising. Pricing, again, it's what we're going to be talking about in 2 weeks from now, in 2 weeks and 3 weeks from now. We're going to spend quite a bit of time on pricing. Crafting the perfect pricing strategy is more about just setting your rates. It's about valuing your work so you can reach your goals. For a low volume portrait photographer, the amount that other photographers charge is irrelevant. Now, for other types of photography and other businesses, it's absolutely relevant. But for low volume portrait photographers, what other people charge is irrelevant. Get that out of your head. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's a curiosity. You can look. I'm not telling you not to look. I'm saying that other people's prices have nothing to do with you. Nothing. Zero zip, nothing. Your pricing is about valuing your work so that you can reach your goals, so that you can understand your market and positioning your brand. As you consider your pricing or evaluate your pricing, consider what many photographers do wrong, and that's underpricing. You're starting with prices with the hope of increasing them later. This is a common mistake, one that many photographers, even those who have been doing this for a long time, are suggesting that you do. The math doesn't add up, you guys. Neither does the reaction of your clients. This approach not only undervalues your work, but also makes it challenging to raise your prices without alienating your initial client base. Why do you want to work so hard to build a client base, a database, only to double, triple your prices to make it where it actually makes sense? Nope. Guys, start off with the correct prices. Now, that doesn't mean if you're starting today that you can't give them a discount, so that you can just build your portfolio. I hear you. Do that. That's fine. As long as it's part of a plan, not just wandering down different roads, but actually part of the plan to get to where you want to go. So set confident prices. Pricing your services is likely uh, going to be higher than what your peers or your own comfort zone suggests. Pricing must at least reflect what it takes to reach your goals, but it should also reflect the true value of your work, your expertise, the unique experience that you offer. You'll find that your confidence in your pricing will grow and as you align with your ideal target market. And of course, you've got to know your worth. You hear this all the time, but what does that mean? Recognize that you aren't your target market. Your perspective on spending, especially as someone skilled in photography, will differ from your clients. Your pricing should reflect the value your clients place on your services, not your personal feelings. I hope that resonates with you. Are you feeling that? Well, if you'd like more information on pricing, just put on your schedule the Portrait Profit Show. on March 11th and March 18th, because that's when we'll be talking in detail about your pricing. So let's move on to number 6. Education, self-confidence, and people skills. Developing your photography business is as much about honing your passion for photography as it is about building your self-confidence and interpersonal skills. Here's some thoughts about enhancing this step with actionable advice. Get a mentor. Find a role model. Look for someone whose career path inspires you and who has experienced what it is that you want to experience. Someone you respect their work ethic, their business acumen, the quality of their work. I also suggest that you join a supportive community. There's a lot of different organizations, professional associations like PPA, Professional Photographers of America. I mean, they provide a lot of different stuff: continuing education, legal advice, business tools that are specifically tailored for photographers. What about local groups? Photo SA, PPSA, Professional Photographers of San Antonio. Great group. Join them if you haven't already. You're going to be built up by these groups. And of course, groups like the San Antonio Photography Facebook group. These different groups, whether they're in person or online forums, offer more personalized support and feedback on your work. And you have greater opportunities for collaboration. Let's talk a moment about education. We need to stay informed about industry trends, techniques, technology, and of course, grow our own knowledge in photography itself. I have come across photographers who don't know their basics. Guys, how would you like it if other professions did that? Wouldn't you expect every profession that you hire to at least have their basics down? I have come across photographers who have never taken a basics class. I guess you do you. This knowledge not only improves your services, but also reinforces your confidence and your expertise. So enroll in courses or workshops at places like Landers Photography School so that you deepen your technical knowledge and your business knowledge. I also recommend that you hire a business coach. I mean, professional athletes are fantastic already, yet they have a coach. What makes you think you don't need one? Are you better than them? Are you on a higher level in your profession than them? Hmm. You know what? When you get serious, what happens? You hire a coach. That's just one guy's opinion. We might not share it. Yeah. Understand the value of personality in business. Clients are looking for an enjoyable experience as much as they are for beautiful photography. Ask them about them, their stories, their interests, and what their vision for their future is, in addition to what they hope to gain through your services. This genuine interest can make you a more likable and interesting person. Your personality is a significant part of your brand. Remember, your journey in photography is not just about capturing moments, but also about creating memorable experiences for your clients and for you. By focusing on education, self confidence, and people skills, you're setting a solid foundation for a successful and fulfilling career in portrait photography. Moving on to number 7, form your policies for quality, for profit, for lifestyle. Make some decisions right now. For one, I want you to create your own business dictionary. What are you going to call everything? Write down all the things you do and give it a definition. For instance, a lot of photographers call their images pictures, photos, preview, proofs. There's a lot of names, and sometimes you call them different things at different points in time. Generally speaking, I'm calling them photographs. I like using formal language. That's just me. I also use images, except when I'm showing my work. Um, I want to differentiate a finished work from a original work that hasn't been artworked yet. And so when I'm showing my work, when I'm doing that the presentation of the original photographs, I'm calling them originals because they've not yet been completed with the fine-tuning steps that I do before printing. Make a list of all the things you do. This is part of your policies, but how do you want to handle everything? In other words, what are the rules of your game? Are you going to give away your original files? Your digital files? If so, are you going to do it every time, or are there specific times or reasons when you do that? For portrait photography, I keep my originals. I never lose control over my originals. The only thing that goes out is once it work that's already gone through a process, and it's almost always prints. It's not often digital files. And you may think, well, people I've been talking to say they don't want them. There's a reason for that. If you want to sell prints and the people you're working with don't want them, it's either because you haven't done a good enough job on client education, but even if you have, it could be because they're not the right client for you. So therefore, there are some areas to tweak to make you better at this. I guarantee it works if you do those things right. I can help with that. The rules and the exceptions must be written in your policy manual. So if you've got some times when you do things and times when you don't, they all have to be included in your policy manual. So I'll give you a couple of mine. Design consultation for all my clients. Now, if it's a business headshot, I don't necessarily need to have a planning session for that. By the way, I call my planning sessions design consultations, or sometimes I just write DC. I have a prepaid creation fee. I don't do partial payments, what some photographers refer to as a deposit. I don't want to give them multiple times of feeling uncomfortable. Money changing hands is sometimes uncomfortable. Why would I want to increase the number of times of them feeling uncomfortable? I care about them. I don't do deposits. They pay in full upfront. So there's the creation fee that covers my labor. It's just like a mechanic, parts and labor. Why would I give my labor away for free? I have a creation fee. I have value. So nothing's included in the creation fee other than me, someone with value, just like you. Another one of my rules when it comes to things that headshots, I don't do this on, but family portraits I do. I project my originals in the location where we've already discussed where the image is going to be printed and displayed. I project. I've got a projector. I project in the spot in the size that it's going to be so that they can get a good visual. Now, there is one time when I will allow a partial payment, and that's with print orders. If they want to do 50% down, that's fine. I'll do that 50% when they pick it up. I'll do that if they ask for it. But for the most part, I want to be paid up front for everything. I just want to reduce that. I want it to be clean and clear. To me, it's so much easier to do it in as few times as possible. So I will allow a 50% down on a print order. But if they don't put anything down, or if it's a less amount than 50%, no work begins. I'm not doing the fine tuning on those images. And once once I've started doing the fine tuning on those images, it becomes non-refundable. I've already started doing the work. I probably am outsourcing some of the stuff, so I'm already incurring costs. It's not refundable once I begin. That's one of my rules. Your workflow may be totally different, so it might not apply to you. Next is number 8, marketing. Now, we have in the past spent a lot of time on marketing. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it today, but marketing is a vital component of your portrait photography business. Connecting you directly with your VIPs, your very important patrons, both past, present, and future clients. Here's how to ensure that your marketing resonates with them. Maintain a database. Keep detailed records of all your client interactions. This database is a gold mine for personal marketing efforts. I want you to highlight your unique factors. Identify at least 10 unique factors about you or your business or and your business. This differentiation sets you apart and makes your offering irresistible. The third is leverage testimonials. Ask every single person you work with for a testimonial. Every client's feedback is a story of success. Share it. Pair their testimonials with their portraits to add authenticity and trust so that people can see the people saying the words. One step further would be to have that print on the wall with them standing in front of it giving a video testimonial. Again, that's for a different episode. I want you to allocate a marketing budget. Invest wisely in your marketing efforts. A guideline to allocate around 7% of your gross revenue to ensure continuous and effective marketing. I want you to optimize your website. Your website is often the first point of contact. Ensure that it's up to date, user friendly, showcases your best work. And of course, your social media, both the platform that you have your stuff on that you're showing that you can add and change, and engaging on social media. Using social media platforms to share your work, connect with clients, showcase your unique style, your personality. And finally, I want you to physically exhibit your work. Create displays, maybe in some high traffic areas. Accompany these exhibits not just with business cards, but with oversized, informative, what I call takeaway or information cards, so that you can share more about what it is that you do. By integrating these elements into your marketing strategy, you create a comprehensive approach that not only draws in your ideal clients, but also helps build lasting relationships with them. It- Marketing is not just about, it's not at all about spreading a wide net. It's about throwing the right net in the right place, targeting those who value and seek your unique artistic vision. And if you've done a good job of describing who you are and what you do and your ideal client, then that actually is pretty darn easy to do. Step 9, sustain effort and growth. Success in photography comes from persistence, vision, and adaptability. Immediate overnight success, that's not likely. It's the culmination of continuing effort, learning from both triumphs and setbacks, and an unwavering commitment to your craft and business knowledge. I'm looking at the time and thinking, I need to move a little faster. I'm going to skip just a little bit. Uh, I recommend that you uh, get apprentices or interns to work with, because when you share what it is you do, you start gaining a better understanding of it. I'm passing that. All right, sales skills. Enhance your sales approach with some strategies. The first is prepare a list of questions that clients have asked or you anticipate that they're going to ask, and then develop clear, consistent answers that highlight your services in a way that benefits them. And then regularly update them, refine and update them based on new questions or new feedback that you get. Use this list to inform the frequently asked questions section on your website as an inspiration for content marketing. Number 3, practice and feedback. Practice your responses to ensure natural and confident delivery. Seek feedback from clients and peers to refine your answers. Anticipating client questions and preparing thoughtful responses enhances client trust, streamlines your sales process, and increases your confidence. All great things. Number 11. This one is the business and mastering the essentials. Go. Uh, This effectively is a kind of accumulation of steps 3 through 10. Reflect on your proficiency in these areas: interpersonal skills, sales ability, So are you comfortable and effective in your selling services and selling your services? Because most of us aren't. How about financial management? How adept are you at bookkeeping? You might be good at it. You may not want to have anything to do with it and you outsource it. It whatever's right for you. The operational choices, will you handle all the tasks yourself or outsource? Maybe you'll hire employees. Maybe you don't want to. How about artistic identity? Do you have a distinct photographic style? Market perception? How do you want to be perceived by the people you want to work with? Write it down. Consider it. Think about it. Write it down. Your work life balance, working hours, when to start your day, when to end your day, time off. This type of planning is beneficial, essential. It increases your confidence. It causes you to know what's happening next. It aligns with your personal strengths, your lifestyle, and your goals. Number 12 is the planning session. When you speak with your clients about the photography session, it's long before you press the shutter release button. It starts with a well structured planning session, what I call a design consultation or just DC. It's the plan for creating the images that bring out the essence of your client's desires and expectations. But it also helps me to create an image that is specifically made for the end result. The majority of my clients get wall portraits, not all of them, but that's what most of them do. Therefore, I do the design consultation in their home and we look at the place where it's going to be displayed on the wall. Now, sometimes they know it already, sometimes they don't know it already. But we look at that space on the wall, and I can tell what the appropriate size is. I can tell also whether it's going to be a horizontal or a vertical. I mean, it reminds me of the time when there was this wide space above a door, and that's where they wanted, and not a doorway. It was just a doorway, but it was open. Um, they wanted it in that space. Well, it's going to need to be skinny and long, wide. Huh. What if I hadn't created any that fit that description? Then I wouldn't have been able to sell them a print for the spot that they needed. I wouldn't have known. So I am in their environment. I learn what it is that I learn about them. I learn what motivates them, and I find out where it's going to go. All these things get put together. So I create an image that is customized to them. Then I add them to the schedule. Then I collect the session fee. Creation fee is what I call it. The planning session is an opportunity to build a relationship with your client. You're showing a genuine interest in their story. You're clearly communicating your process. You're paving the way for a photography session that is both meaningful and memorable. All right. Step number 13. The photography session. The photography session is the highlight of your service. It's the stereotype. It's the part that they think is everything that you do as a photographer. It's the fun part. The photography session is your moment to truly shine and share your passion for photography. It's an opportunity to demonstrate not just your technical skills, but also your enthusiasm for making beautiful images. So, how do you showcase your passion? You want to let your love for photography shine through. Your enthusiasm is contagious and enhances that experience. You're going to want to stay focused, keep the session flowing smoothly by staying attentive and avoiding distractions. No wandering around the park unless that's what you agreed to ahead of time. No one appreciates wasted time. Dads are really not going to like that. Moms might like it for a little while, and the kids get bored of it pretty quick. But how many of you guys have just wandered and wandered and wandered looking for a spot that looked good with your client? Guys, plan this ahead of time, unless it's part of the experience, because sometimes it is part of an experience. But generally speaking, know what you're going to do ahead of time and get out there and do it. Personal connection. By this point, you should have already established a good rapport with your clients. But the session itself is just one more of those opportunities to further enhance it. You're engaging in light conversation. You're helping them to relax. You want them to have a more them to feel a little more natural and expressive in the photographs. And of course, you're preparing for the unexpected. Always have a plan B for unforeseen circumstances. Maybe it's changing weather. Maybe it's uncooperative subjects. Technical issues. That includes having backup equipment if you can afford it. If you can't, plan a path to be able to have backup equipment. I'm not saying you shouldn't do photography if you don't have backup equipment. I'm saying that you should make it happen. Take the steps that is necessary to get yourself some backup equipment. Now, after the session ends, I want you to communicate the next steps clearly. Whether it's a preview of the images, the selection process, or delivery timeline, set clear expectations. And then repeat that in an email. That could be text email, it could be a video email to follow up. The session is not just about the photography, it's about the overall experience. Number 14, prepare for portrait selection consultation. I call it a portrait selection consultation because that's the time when they select their portraits. You call it whatever you want. You remember when I said create your own dictionary? Everything you do, give it a name, and then define what it means to you. Maximize the impact of your portrait selection consultation with these suggestions. Narrow down your choices. Simplify the decision-making process for your clients by presenting a curated selection of images. This prevents overwhelm and highlights your expertise in selecting the finest shots. It's your job. Of course, you must communicate that you're going to be doing that prior to them hiring you, because there are some clients that do not like that. They want to see everything and they're adamant about it. As far as I'm concerned, they're looking for a different photographer if that's what they want. I'm only going to show my best. I'm not going to show them every single time I press the shutter release. No way. Not going to happen. If that's what they want, there's a lot of photographers out there who don't see the value in the way I do it. And so they can go work with them. So I edit rigorously to ensure that only the top tier work is shown, excluding everything that doesn't make me proud. You're, I suggest that you aim for quality over quantity. I mean, you say that yourself, so do it. This shows, it underscores your artistic standards. Do you have to have any standards? No, you can do whatever the heck you want. I believe that you should have artistic standards. I believe that you should write them down clearly, review them, change them as needed. Not too often because you've got a lot of other things to do, but have them in an environment that you can check on it and look at it and review it and make sure that it still fits your goals. You're going to use your professional judgment to recommend options that best suit their space, their personal style, their goals. Your expertise in making these selections adds value to your service. I believe that your role as a photographer extends into guiding your clients through the selection process with confidence and with ease, ensuring a positive experience that aligns with your brand. Number 15, the portrait selection consultation itself. We just got through talking about the preparation for it. Now you're actually showing it. This can be done in a lot of different ways. You heard me say earlier, I do this in their home. I project on their wall where it's going to be displayed. Just like the session, the portrait consultation is another pivotal moment where your work and your client's expectations are supposed to align. So optimize your sales environment. Now, if you're doing this in your office, doing it in your home, maybe you have a designated room. Maybe you're doing this on Zoom, so you've got a digital space. Either way, ensure that it's designed to enhance the viewing experience and to minimize distractions and potential technical problems. Now, I do home presentations, so if possible, presenting in a client's home can add a personal touch and help them visualize the portraits in their space where it's going to be displayed. So I project my work. I'm using a projector. Um, I think it gives the images more of what they deserve. I think it makes it more impactful. It also is very different from what most people do. And that is one of the many things that wows them when working with a photographer who does things like that. I like lots of wow opportunities for my clients. I bet you do too. I also like to share my most expensive option first because by comparison, everything else is less. So don't try to roll the ball up the hill, let it roll down the hill. So these particular strategies, they not only elevate the client experience, but also set the stage for a successful sale, underscoring the professional approach and thoughtful goals of your craft that you have for your craft. Step 16. It's a system for solidifying the sale. After you finalize the sale, it's important to follow up. After you've made the sale, after they have spent money, some refer to this next step as a stick system to make sure that the sale sticks. The purpose is to ensure your clients remain happy and confident in their decision. Because anytime we spend money that's not our norm, maybe it's a lot more than our norm, we have the potential to experience buyer's remorse. And of course, we want to avoid that. So here's some ways to make that happen. We want to have post sale communication. Immediately after the sale, send them a personalized thank you email message. This small gesture shows appreciation and begins the post sale relationship on a positive note. Now, I'm also going to want to ask for feedback because I want to demonstrate at all times, and this time especially, that their opinion matters to me. And when they do respond with something, or I do notice something, responsive service. I want you to be prompt in addressing any concerns. Quick and effective resolutions can turn potential issues into moments that reinforce trust. There's been times when I've made a mistake or I've realized that there was a mistake made before or at the same time as the client. But I'm thinking about the ones that were before, when they look at it and go, I wouldn't have even noticed that. Um, they appreciate that you noticed. You know this, it's probably happened to you, maybe multiple times. We want things to fit our description, our artistic vision of what this is supposed to be, our rules. I want you to develop a plan for ongoing engagement. Consider follow up calls, online surveys, newsletters, even something that keeps them connected to your personal brand. This not only secures the sale, but fosters a long term relationship. I want tools to encourage repeat business and referrals. Number 17, order fulfillment system. Ensuring the highest quality delivered products requires a thoughtful fulfillment system. So, how about retouching? I often refer to this as artwork. So, how do you define your finished product? You know that you want to ensure every selected image meets your high standards. So, what are your high standards? Describe this in a way that isn't the same way that every other photographer could say. I want this to set the groundwork for a flawless final product. Now, there's no such thing as flawless or perfect. I just want to set you up for it. And I know that you value that too. Of course, we want to select the right printer, the lab that you work with. Choose a printer that aligns with your quality expectations, your delivery timeline, a lab that makes you look like a hero, like Digital Pro Lab. Your partnership with the right lab is a necessity for maintaining the quality you and your clients are going to come to expect. So, yeah, reach out to Digital Pro Lab at digitalprolab.com. And then finishing touches. Finalize your products with mounting and framing. These finishing touches greatly enhance the presentation and perceived value of your work. Now, of course, you want to have quality control. So, when you do get the finished products back from the lab, just do your own thorough quality check. Make a list of what it is you do, create your procedures for this check. This step is going to ensure that the final product matches your artistic vision and meets your client's expectations. Now, this next one you can do if you want to. I sign my work. Just like every painting in the art museum, I believe that your art should be signed. I sign in gold foil using a heated ballpoint pen. That's how I do it. You can do it however you want to. And then packaging. at every step of the process. You want to wow your clients, but this is an especially important time to make sure you do. I love it when my clients comment on the box and ribbon and gold foil and embossed logo. By creating a system and adhering to the steps, you guarantee that every client receives a product not only reflects your talent and dedication, but solidifies your reputation and quality for professionalism. And finally, we're at 18. I want you to complete, I want you to create your own completion system. Finalizing a portrait project, finalizing a portrait project underscores the professionalism and the care you put into every aspect of your service. I want you to prepare for different delivery methods, unless you only just do one type, but most of us do more than one. So here's a delivery method you may do: pickup. Offer a convenient scheduled pickup time. Ensure the artwork is ready and beautifully packaged for when they arrive to pick it up. Delivery. Now, you can do delivery by sending it through UPS or FedEx or US Mail or wherever you're at in the world. Uh, but you can also, I want you to at least consider the personal touch of hand delivering the order. However, it is that you do delivery, write down what it is you do and why that's important to you. Now, also offer installation service for wall portraits. In fact, that's usually what happens. So I'm not only delivering, but I'm also installing their wall portraits. Sometimes I outsource that, sometimes I do it myself. Usually I just do it myself. This adds value and ensures the artwork is correctly displayed. It's just my choice to do that. It does take up more time, but I do it. That means I have to charge to cover that. And if I can't do it, well, then I have enough money to pay someone to do it. That's how it works. No matter what you do, the goal is to clearly communicate the process for whatever it is, the delivery method you're doing, and you want to make sure the clients know what you're going to be doing beforehand. A written plan detailing the steps involved reassures the clients and sets clear expectations. I also want you to consider post delivery engagement, a thank you note. After it's done, send a personalized handwritten thank you note to express your gratitude via snail mail. Yep, the old fashioned way. Talk about different. When's the last time you received a thank you message in the mail? Well, a follow up call. Make a follow up call. Next day, 3 days, a week. Make a follow up call to ensure that they are happy with the final product and the service they received. And anytime there is an issue, make your response immediate. Take care of it as soon as you can and convey what it is that you're going to do and what you're doing as you're doing it. You need to be prepared to address any concern or issue immediately. So, as you experience these concerns or issues, either solve them permanently or add something to your procedure manual so that you know what you do in those situations to keep things consistent and update it as you improve. So, what's next in the completion system? Keep the lines of communication open for future opportunities, whether it's for additional sessions, referrals, or just feedback. This not only solidifies the current sale, but also lays the groundwork for future sales, for ongoing client relationships. I've got a couple of closing thoughts for you. So, Lens Legends, as we conclude our journey through the 18 essential steps for a profitable, low volume portrait photographer, it's important to remember that the path to success is both a marathon and a sprint. Each step from defining your ideal life to delivering the final product contributes to the building to building a business that not only thrives financially but also brings joy and fulfillment to your life and the lives of your clients. The road ahead will present challenges, but because you took the time to create and refine your systems, procedures, policies, you're more prepared than 95% of all the photographers out there. You will stand out. Embrace each challenge with open arms, a willing heart, and a mind ready to learn and adapt. Continue to let your passion for photography drive you. Let your dedication to your clients inspire you, and let the joy of creating fuel you. The steps we just covered are not just tasks to be checked off, but milestones to celebrate, learn from, and build upon. Success can be measured by profits, but even more important is the impact you make on your life, the life of your family, and of course, your clients' lives. Your photography business is a reflection of your unique vision and commitment to excellence. Cherish it, nurture it, and you'll watch it flourish. May your passion for photography illuminate the path to success. May your business thrive in ways that you've imagined. Keep on capturing beauty, creating lasting memories, and building a profitable, fulfilling portrait photography business that causes you to reach your definition of success. If you feel you need help with any of the steps that we discussed today, let me help you. Now, I'm going to give you a free 15-minute consultation. Now, that won't go over everything. Just give me one thing that is really on your mind. And let me see where that, I'll put that on the screen. So down at the bottom of this message that's on the screen right now, you see calendly.com forward slash photo school forward slash 15 minutes or 15 min, M-I-N, short for minutes. If you go to that link, that's my calendar. So you can, and let me, I'm going to put that in the comments so that just in case you'll have it. Now, something that to consider is this doesn't go to every single one of the places we simulcast to. I think it goes to 4 different ones. So hopefully it's showing up in yours. It's showing up on 2 of our YouTube channels and 2 of our Facebook channels. So that's all it's showing up to. It's not showing up to all of them. Well, that happens sometimes. I'll put that up one more time just in case you didn't get it. So that's calendly.com forward slash photo school forward slash 15 MIN. That's where to go if you want just a quick 15-minute consultation on something that we talked about today. My gift to you, in addition to this show. All right. I just saw some of those comments. Thank you guys for your comments. I really appreciate them. So as you are as you know, at least I hope you know, the Portrait Profit Show is it happens every single week. We do this on the second Monday of every single week at noon, except for this. We do this on every Monday at noon, except for the second Monday where we move the time to 6:30 in the evening and we bring on panelists to give additional points of view and experiences. This next one, a week from today, can you believe it? We're already into March. March 4th at noon, and I'll put that banner up. And there we go. Yeah, there we go. So this one's called Vision Victory, Your Ideal Life with a tool called timelining. This simple but powerful tool of timelining equips you with the clarity and motivation needed to navigate life's challenges and opportunities with confidence, while better avoiding the bumps and walls along the path that slow you down. So join me and start turning your visions into victories. a week from today. And then on March 11th is our panel discussion at 6:30 in the evening. How I decided on my prices. 6:30, March 11th. And then on March 18th, we have perfect price list. So yeah, 2 weeks in a row, we're going to be discussing pricing. Perfect price list is what's coming up on March 18th at noon. On March 25th, I'll put that up real quick, is client workflow for the best client experience. And then let's take you all the way out to April 1st. I'll stop there at noon. The entire client sales process. Now, this is my entire sales process. You take from it the parts that you need and you leave the rest there. It's kind of like a toolbox. Do you grab all the tools out of the toolbox when you need something? No, you grab the ones that you need to do the job that you need to do. Yeah, I'm going to share with you my entire client sales process. Yeah, that's what's coming up on April 1st. And no, that's not an April Fool's joke. That's what you're going to get. So until next time, Lens Legends, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep making your mark in the world of portrait photography. I believe in you. I believe in your power to elevate the art of photography, to enrich the lives of your clients, and to contribute to a community that's as dynamic and beautiful as the images you create. I want to thank you all for your time and attention here today. Thank you for sharing the show. Thank you for hitting that like button and that love button. Thank you for making comments. Thank you for entering hashtag live to let me know you're here. Thank you for all of the efforts that you make each day to be such an amazing portrait photographer. I encourage you to like and share the Portrait Profit Show. And of course, tune in to our next live stream a week from today at noon. Together, we help each other achieve our goals and make a difference in the world through our passion for portrait photography. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, my name is Jim Landers, and I'm bringing you the weekly Portrait Profit Show. I look forward to watching you grow. Bye for now.